Hey guys, this is Cindy and Brett from 10 Living on location.
Yeah, we're quite a bit further away today. We've made a little road trip this morning. We're down in the northwest corner of Tennessee, Sampson Farms area.
Got an opportunity to meet them today. They come out and got to meet them and shake hands and talk for a few minutes and visit together.
They made a trip out to see us. We appreciate that. It was good to meet them.
Oh yeah, it could actually be face to face instead of video camera to video camera.
Yeah. It's always good to meet somebody in person.
Oh yeah.
We also got to congratulate them on their 1,000 subscribers.
Oh yes, that was really cool. Talk about the upcoming gatherings.
Yep.
Wish we had a little more time to visit, but we're here on location because we're attending a wedding of our daughter's best friend. She's in the wedding and we came over. They needed a little extra sound for the reception, and since how we had sound equipment, she asked if we would play music for her reception. So we said okay. This I think is one of the last of the childhood friends getting married.
So.
I think all the rest of them's all married now.
They all got hitched now.
We've done the reception for 2 of them so far. Yep.
The other one got married. We couldn't make that one, but
yeah,
was actually at a different wedding at the same time. But
yep, there was 2 going on at the same time.
But we thought we'd do a quick shout out for Sampson Farms. We enjoyed our meetup. Gathered a little knowledge from a bigger channel.
Yeah, and also my day 7 vlog is gonna probably get put off till tomorrow.
We'll probably have
7 and 8 may have to go together because it'll be late when we get in this evening.
It's a pretty good stretch from the southern part of Middle Tennessee to the northwest corner of West Tennessee, but
yeah,
it was a pretty good ride, I guess. Seeing a lot of scenery.
Learning GPS will take you down every back road, crooked road, and bumpy road on the way over.
It got us here and we never left the paved roads. It's a plus from what I understand it used to be like. So
I was trying to nap because I can no longer judge distances, so riding in vehicles on busy highways makes me extremely nervous. And so I just laid back and slept, and my grandmother's with us, and her and my daughter kept Brett entertained over here and giving him directions. A couple of times I thought he was going to throw me in the floor for the bumps. I woke up to one of them. I was just sliding right off into the floor. I was like, okay, what is going on? They said it was a road. I said, well, you about dumped your wife in the floor.
it did take us behind some factories in a bigger city. And the road probably wasn't made for whatever the world's been going up and down it, because it was almost rough enough to be a dirt road. We have smoother dirt roads in our county than what that paved road was.
Ooh.
We was never so proud to see the other end of it. But I said, it's bad, and you think about locking it in 4-wheel drive just to make it up and down a paved road. It was that bumpy. It had that big of dips. Road trucks, I guess, just tore it up.
It woke me up. My daughter said I was snoring. I said, well, I was trying to sleep. And she's like, well, you were... I said, well, I wasn't fully asleep. She goes, you were snoring. I said, I was until you threw me in the floor.
As far as our location, we're in Troy, Tennessee. We're at the Greater Vision Church. It's a pretty nice place.
Actually, the senior pastor here is a young man we grew up with. I've known him... Well, we went to high school together. And, man, that's been forever ago. But he's a great guy. He and his family turned an old factory into a beautiful church. We took a tour today because it's been a long time since we've been over here. And they have just completely redone this church. It's so beautiful. And huge. It's huge.
For a church, yes, for a church like we're used to, yeah, it's huge.
But it
We're
has a
not used
lot
to
of
all that.
things in it. I mean, it's got inside the churches it has, of course, the church itself, but on the one end of it, it also has a clothing ministry and a food ministry that's run out of it. And so they do a lot with this one little building.
We'll have to do a tour of our church sometime or another.
That won't take long. Our
Well,
whole church would fit in their sanctuary.
yeah, I watched one the other day, a channel I like to watch. He done a tour of his little church, and it was neat.
Yeah, he went to turn the heat on, so he took us along with him.
Yeah.
I liked that. That was a cute church. It reminded me of the one I went to in Flatwoods.
That was Cedar Creek Homestead.
You know, have you ever told him we have a Cedar Creek in our neck of the woods, too?
No.
First time you said Cedar Creek Homestead, I said, oh, they live down the road. You said, no, they don't live nowhere near us.
There's Cedar Creeks all over the United States.
We have a Cedar Creek in Perry County, too.
Mm-hmm.
I, for a brief moment in my childhood, lived off of it. I was really little when we moved to the Boy Scout camp. When we moved over, well, Woods Prong, which is right down the road from Cedar Creek. It was all considered the same area.
Well, anybody that lives on that end of the county calls themselves in Cedar Creek, whether they are or they're not. Believe me, after being a bus driver, it's to hear somebody talk, it's all Cedar Creek.
Uh-huh.
It might be 5 miles away from Cedar Creek, but it's still Cedar Creek.
Now, it's Cedar Creek up to a certain point, then it becomes Clifton.
Yeah, at the sign it says Clifton. I don't understand it, but hey, it works.
Well,
Everybody wants to live on Cedar Creek, I guess.
It is so funny. I have to say this. It is so funny. We come over here. The road to come over to this church, it's called Mary Jane Street.
Yeah, that's
Mary Jane Street. There's no sign on the road that says that this is Mary Jane Street.
it's probably like our daughter told us.
It probably got taken.
It probably got stolen. They
But
like the sign that says Mary Jane because a lot of times it don't have a street or a lane on the end of it, so it just says Mary Jane.
well, it does, but the ST is like really small.
Yeah, they probably marked that out,
But it's so funny because we're sitting here going, where's Mary Jane Street? And we're trying to find this place. And we pulled in, Brett went, yep, I didn't expect it to have a sign. But it's kind of like when in Perry County, we went from rural routes to a 911 address when our 911 system came in.
no, you can't find nothing.
And they, unless the name was a state highway or a well-known county highway, you got to name, there was people who got to name the streets they lived on. Or at least if it was always known as some road, they got to name the road. We have some very interesting named roads now. Because some of them were like, well, what is that? No, that's not that no more. We're like, well, why ain't it? And it's like, because when they changed it to 911, it took us probably a good 5 years to get used to the new names on all the roads. Because, like, a friend of ours owned pretty much all the land down this one road, so he got to name the road. And they named it off after their son. And this other one over here, well, we always called it this holler. So that was what it, like, my mom and dad, the road they lived down was always known as Grapevine Holler. So when they named the road, they named it Grapevine Holler Road. So they just went by what the name was. So I guess Mary Jane used to own this road, reckon?
I don't know. We probably don't want to know why they named it Mary Jane.
It's not the first one.
It's not a factory no more. It's a church at the first of it. So,
Yep.
and it's actually a pretty good sized secondary road. We actually found it with the GPS because, like I said, there was no signs. If the GPS hadn't said turn now, we would have never known it was here.
That's the truth. That's the truth. It is easy to find. And what did we do for modern technology? We got lost a lot, didn't we?
Yeah, we used to read a paper map.
People don't know how to read those anymore, I don't think.
We used to stop at the rest areas and pick up paper maps. We'd pick up 2 or 3 different ones in case we headed that direction.
I still have some of them at home. I found them the other day when I was cleaning out my desk. I was shocked. I still had one of the old original ones we used when we first got married.
Mm-hmm.
I bet there's some roads on the highway now that's not on that map.
They've been rerouted. That's it.
Our truck that we're sitting in right now doing this video has a map display thingy.
GPS on it.
It has a GPS thing on it. Although I don't think it's been updated or when it was put in. I'm assuming it's put in with the truck.
2007 when the truck was made.
There's been roads added since then. Because when we made a turn, it put us off in the middle of a field. It didn't recognize the road we was on.
No, we went off the mount, circled around, and eventually came back to a road and hopped back on according to that mount. Even though we made a big loop in some kind of intersection.
Mm-hmm.
Where we was crossing, whatever the roads it was making us cross from one to another. There's no good way to get where we're at, though. There's no direct highway to this area. You have to go above it, or you got to go below it and drive back to it. The GPS took us above it, took us north of it, and then we had to turn around south and drive back down to it. That's the reason we wound up on numerous roads and making numerous turns and going directions that really didn't make sense, but it worked out. We made it here in about 2.5 hours.
Well, we had to kind of kick off real quick. We had somebody come out to the truck to talk. Mama come out to put her stuff in the truck.
Some of them don't really understand about YouTube yet, so
No.
we thought it'd just be easier to cut the camera off and try this again.
I've run out of things to say. Because it's...
Well, we got to be getting inside. The wedding's going to be here for too long. Hope you enjoyed. God bless.